Hey everyone, welcome to the Hot Sauce Show. My name is Zach. I am your host. We are live at the Fiery Foods Show in Albuquerque. I am here with Vic Clinco, the owner of the world's largest hot sauce collection and star on the recent show Super Hots. Vic, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat today.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
so I don't even know where to start. So tell me about your collection. I know a lot of people know, but we might have a lot of listeners that don't know. So tell me about your collection.
Sure. Yeah, so I've been collecting for about 27-ish or so years now. We were just talking a little bit before we got started on what my actual number is. I am somewhere in the 11,000 unique and sealed bottles from literally all over the world.
Wow. And how did that start? Was it just one day you liked the label or liked the sauce, wanted to preserve it? Or
Yeah. I think I was always a chili head, right?
Okay.
I've always liked spicy foods. So I think that hot sauce is the easiest vehicle, right? The easiest to find.
Yep.
So I think it was our first Christmas together, the wife and I, and she had purchased, I think it was like 7 or 8 bottles, stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
And I ended up putting them on a counter, and a lot of them were from Southwest Specialties, the ass-kicking stuff.
Yeah.
So everybody would come over, giggle a little bit, and so it just kind of spurned from there. I was like, wow, that's kind of fun. And so I just put all together coffee cups and hot sauces and different things in one area. It was about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months later, I found a cool book. It was called The Great Hot Sauce Book. It's by Jennifer Trainer Thompson. And it just opened my eyes that I had no idea people actually collected hot sauce.
Yes.
And it was a picture of her hot sauce collection on the cover, and it talked about other people collecting in other countries. And it was like a picture book, right? And it showed the hot sauce, and it gave a small description and where it came from. So I just used it. I kept it in my car, and I hooked a Sharpie marker on it.
So you were seeking these hot sauces?
I was, man. I was looking them up,
that's
and
so
I was
cool.
checking them off the book as I was going.
Yeah. My goodness! Yeah. And then it just kind of grew from there, huh?
Yeah, it took off. Social media has been just absolutely crazy for me. Mm-hmm. And so I think that.
And sorry to interrupt. The thing that's crazy about this is you started this so long before social media that you're like, I'm an OG before I needed any, or not that you need it now, but you didn't need the attention of, hey, look, I got the biggest, collection. Like you were really doing it for yourself, which I think is important.
Right. Like, so 16, 17 years ago, blogging was really big, right? And the hot sauce blog. So people were showing pictures of their collections. I was like, oh my God. My collection is bigger than theirs, and that was 17 years ago, So I never really went out for the intention of having the largest.
Yeah.
It just really kind of helped. I mean, it just kind of morphed into that, just kind of happened. And then, again, as social media and Instagram and all of that kind of really started to kind of take off, it exploded.
Yeah.
And anytime, like the super hot thing, right? Anytime that I've been on the Today Show, I've been on the Food Network, I've been on the Cooking Channel, I've been on the History Channel. So every time that we do anything like that, it just seems like it explodes, right?
Yeah.
People want to be a part of it,
right?
And I think that's really humbling for me.
Yeah.
That's the cool part of it.
Yeah. No, that's really cool to hear. So. You have, I'll call it your regulars of, the hot sauce companies that are kind of institutions in the industry, and I'm sure they send you bottles and things like that to add to your collection. How do you go about finding new hot sauces for your collection?
A little bit of all. I mean, I guess the treasure hunt aspect of it, right? Of just actually physically going out.
And you enjoy that?
I love the treasure hunt part. The wife is more the bidding on eBay and different things like that. She loves it. She loves to haggle and find cool stuff. But it's funny that she finds a lot. And then anytime that anybody ever comes over to see the collection, they kind of, I don't know, it pulls them in, right? And the next thing you know, when they're on vacation, they're sending pictures. Oh, do you have this one? Do you have that one? So it's
and I'm
fun.
sure they ping you eventually shots or sauces you don't have yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, happens all the time.
Yeah. Now, if someone has a label and then the label is redone, where does that fall? Is that a new one?
That's
or
a label variation, brother. It's going on the shelf.
It's going on the shelf.
Yes,
that's really exciting.
Yep.
So then the other big news in your life is the new Super Hot show. So tell me about how that experience has been.
It's been wild. It's been a whirlwind for me. We really started talking about this show and the concept around it. I think it was like 2018, 2019, as far back. And so then COVID hit and everything kind of stopped. It got kind of hush, and then boom, then it started up again. And it was fun to kind of see how this thing changed and morphed and their ideas. And, so one of the things that they struggled with is what do we where do we tackle this? How do we come at this chili pepper world?
What's the story? And
right, yeah. Do we do the chili peppers? Do we do the growers? Do we do the hot sauce? Do we do the show? How do we wrap our head around it and really tell the story? So it was fun to kind of see them kind of go through it. And again, I'm humbled just to be a part of it, and so again, it's for me, from someone who just loved hot sauce, right, now has a crap ton of condiments on their wall. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's really what I'm known for. You know? To be able to have that soapbox, to be able to tell, right, and the educational piece of it, right, because it all started with me simply showing hot sauces in the background, of the collection, and giving these small the guys that were just getting up and started, giving them an opportunity, right, to show what they had, and hopefully getting them some sales, and it worked out really well. It's crazy. Yeah,
I love how that show and just so many others have just elevated the whole community and the products and everything, and I would call myself a big hot sauce guy, but I didn't really know a lot about peppers.
Right.
I mean, I know the names, I know the flavors mostly, but the show really opened my eyes to the growing and the 8 generations to stabilize. I'm like,
the scientific,
never even thought about that.
Yeah. The science behind it is just amazing, and I'm novice to that too. I don't grow myself. And it was kind of funny that when they came to me. And I thought it was going to be a pepper show. I was like, guys, I'm just...
That was the first thing as a pepper show as they approached you?
Yeah.
Okay, not really sauces.
Way back in the day, it was them trying to wrap their head around what they were going to do.
How do those two connect?
The second part of it, when they came out, it was actually a post that they had on social media, and they were looking for growers who thought they had grown the hottest chili peppers.
Wow.
So everybody kept saying, call them, put your name in. I'm like, and then they reached out to me on Instagram. And I told them the same thing. I said, I don't grow my own peppers. I don't. We want you to be a judge. I'm like, okay.
Well, I am
that case,
qualified for that.
Right, exactly. I brushed off my resume, and then here we go. Right. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. What's your what heat level do you like personally for eating?
Everything. Right?
Everything.
So again, because people see what I do and what I have, and they see my room, right? They ask me questions. So from my aspect, I want to know all of the hot sauces. I want to know all of the chili peppers, right? So I try everything, right? I don't know if I have a go-to. My favorite pepper is a ghost pepper.
Okay,
right?
yep.
I also like a fatale. Oh, yeah. I got my
Look at that.
My ghost pepper, my tattoo.
Cool.
You can't be in the community if you don't have a chili pepper tattoo at some point.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. I can't show you my tramp stamp. But
very cool. Well, what's next for you?
I don't know. So in the collecting aspect of it, there is no ceiling, right? So I love the opportunities of coming here and seeing all these new
this is like a big
right?
treasure hunt.
Holy smokes, it's so great, and it's fun to walk down the aisles and they're like, you're Vic,
hey, stand up straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we were walking up, we were checking into the hotel, and somebody comes up and goes, I apologize, and goes, are you Vic Clinco? I'm like, yeah. I didn't know, bill collector or something. I don't know what it was. I was like, yeah. And he goes, I saw you on the show, and it's neat, right?
Yeah.
So to be that, to have that, I don't know, that presence, right?
Yeah.
And as you're walking up and down the aisle, and I've got a new sauce. I've got, you need this new one, and people are handing it to me. I'm sticking it in my pockets and all that. So I eat this up, and that's kind of where it started. So as a collector, I was going to the shows as much as I could. Right? Driving out here, I lived in Florida. I was driving out here just to do it, and then so I started working with K-John. K-John's Foods, and I think I was with them for 13 years, and it was easier for them to have us come out to the show. Number one, I like hot sauce, so I was able to talk about it and talk to people and help them have a sales background, so it was easy, right? So, and then when he retired, sold the business to where I work now, Hot Shots Distributing, so we're the largest distributor of hot sauces in the world, so it just seemed like it was a perfect fit.
Right?
So.
Very cool. Well, thanks for coming out to chat.
Appreciate
it. Yeah. Oh, last question. You're probably the most important one to ask to do. How many years have you been coming to the show?
This one, 14.
Wow.
15? Yeah, somewhere around there.
That's great.
I'm old. I don't remember.
Love to see it. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Vic.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Hot Sauce Show. Be sure to follow us here and on socials to stay up to date on future episodes.